Monday night means it's time to save money by playing fun savings challenge games. And this week, I've got a new one. Welcome to Ready Budget Game. Welcome back to Ready Budget Go. My name is Drew, and on this channel we talk about household budgeting, saving money, and achieving our financial goals. If those sound like things that you vibe with, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below, because I would really love to hear from you. So I do game night on Monday, and this week I've got a brand new game. If you watched last week, then you'll know that I finished the 2025 challenge. So that one has come out of the binder, and I've moved things around just a little bit. So 2025 used to be an envelope number 2, and I've replaced that with sussed because I want to do that every week. I think that one is one of the more fun ones, and I've got a ton of these cards. So I'm going to keep sussed here. And then in envelope number 9, which is where sussed used to be, I've put in a new game called Tucano. This one is commercially available, but I've adapted it to be a savings challenge game. So I'll explain the rules when we get there. I've also changed the money a little bit. I had previously been using 120, 3 10s, 5 5s, 11 2s, no, 7 2s, and 11 1s to equal $100. Now I've changed it up where I'm using 4 10s, 7 5s, and then the same number of 2s and 1s. So 7 2s and 11 1s. Anyway, it all still comes out to $100. I'm just not putting a 20 in here anymore, basically. I've swapped out the 20 for another 10 and 2 more 5s. Okay, so let's get started as we always do with Loteria. That will be the first game up. And I think last week we played the millennial version, so we're going to play the classic version this week. So I will get out the game board and the cards for that, which, of course, because I'm me, I didn't do before starting to film. So I will just reach into my bag of tricks and we'll pull out Loteria. So these are the Loteria cards. These are all sussed cards here. We won't need those because I keep those in the book for whatever we're working on currently. Okay, so there is the Loteria card. And then Then the last thing I need are the chips to mark off the spaces that we cover. So let me open up the bucket here at the bottom, and we'll get out the bag of chips. And we'll get started with Loteria. So this is the 10th of 10 cards. So after this game, I will start over with card number 1 again. Hard to believe I've been doing this for 10 weeks. And actually it would be 20 weeks because I'm doing the original Loteria every other week. Doesn't seem like that long, but I guess it has been. Okay, so let me give these a shuffle and a cut. If this is your first time watching Game Night, or if you haven't seen me play Loteria before, Loteria is a bingo-style game that comes from the Spanish-speaking world, and instead of numbers, you use pictograms, and instead of bingo balls, you use cards. Now, obviously, there are more cards in the deck than there are pictograms on the card, and it's meant to be played with multiple people, but I've adapted it to be a savings challenge game. So the way that I do it is if I have the symbol that I turn over, I put a marker on the card, and I just keep going until I get a Loteria, which is a line of 4. And once I have that, I save $1 for every chip on the card. So let's give it a go and see how we do this week. So first up is Las Jarras, and I don't have that. Then we've got El Violoncello, or Violoncello. I don't have that. La Sandia, we do have that. It's right here. La Dama, we've got her. El Nopal, right here. La Calavera, I don't see that. El Melon, no. La Mano, nope. La Bota, no. La Maceta, I don't see that. El Alacran, we do have. It's right here. Gallo de Don Clemente, don't have that. La Botea, we don't have. El Caso, no. La Esclera, no. La Araña, no. El Camarón, no. El Catrín, we do have. El Corazón, no. La Bandera, no. La Estrella, no. El Bandolón, no. La Sirena, no. La Rosa, no. El Diablito, no. El Pino, yes, right here. So now El Gorrito will give us a Loteria. La Palma, no. El Cantarito, no. La Campana, no. And there's El Gorrito. So we've got a Loteria right here. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7. So not a big savings this week on Loteria, and used about half the deck. I've been having some really interesting luck lately where I've been consuming most of the deck just to get one Loteria. So not too bad for this week. Okay, so I'm going to save $7. Let me clear all of this off the card. And I'll just set these to the side for now. Get out the binder. And $7. And Loteria is envelope number 1. Oops, as I flip right past it. So I'll put this in here for now. I will come back and condense at the end, and that's also when you can find out how much is in each envelope. But for now, let's move on to Sussed. Sussed is a would you rather game, and the way that I've been playing this is each question gives you 3 possible answers, and I've decided that answer A is $2, answer B is $3, and answer C is $5, depending on which one I would prefer. So let me get out a marker here, and let's pick up where we left off. So this question is, where would I rather watch a film? A, at the cinema, B, cuddled up with someone on the sofa, or C, outdoors with my friends. Well, I definitely don't want to watch a movie outdoors because bugs. So it's between A and B. I will say B, cuddled up with someone on the sofa. If I had my choice between staying in and going out, I would probably stay in. So let's say B, and that'll be $3, and I'll do one more. Do I think I can draw better than the player on my left? Yes, no, or we're about the same. If you are a person who has a pulse, then you can draw better than I can. So I'm going to say that no matter who that would be, I'm going to say the answer is no. I cannot draw better than any random person off the street. So I'm going to save $3 for that. And so total of 6 going in. And I will put these back along with it. And I will play Sussed again if it comes back around, if we get through the rest of the games and I still have money left to save. But that really doesn't happen with the games that I've got in here. I've got quite a few of them. Okay, so let me stick those in here, and we'll go on to Junior's Restaurants next. Junior's Restaurants is a box challenge that was gifted to me by April over at April's Fresh Start and her son Junior. This is one that her son has made, and it's available in her Etsy shop. If you purchase this or any of the other games that Junior has, he gets 100% of the money. Mom pays the taxes and the Etsy fees, and Junior uses the money to go towards his goals. So I've gone through all of the different restaurants inside Junior's Restaurants, so I'm not going to do that this time. I only have 3 cards left, and I'm thinking I've probably got this week and then maybe 1 or 2 more before this whole thing will be done. So I'm just going to pick the middle one, which will be Shut the To-Go Box. So this is a Shut the Box 1 through 6. And again, not at all prepared. So I think for this game, I'm just going to finish this out, and then that'll be how much I saved this week. So let me grab a 6-sided die out of here. There's one. Okay, and let's see how we do with Shut the To-Go. Oh, I need a marker too. Let's see how we do with Shut the To-Go Box this week. All right. So the first roll is 3. So we'll knock out the 3. Hopefully you all can see this. Okay. 6, that's good. So let's do a 6. Let's see, maybe I should be using the other tip. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the other tip here. Okay. Next roll. 5, good. A 2. So we need a 4, a 1, or a 5. And it's a 2, so we are out. So we've got 4 plus 1, so we've got 5 here. And you know, this just isn't dark enough. I'm going to use this Tombow over here. So we knocked out the 2, the 3, the 5, and the 6, and that left us with 5. Okay. Let's go again. So we've got 1, 2, oh dear, big numbers, and another 2. So I'm already out. Okay, so that's $13, $18. I'm going to add the 1 and the 8 and save 9. And I'm going to go again. I'm going to finish it out this week. 5, 3, and 3 again. So we can knock 1 and the 2 out. So we need a 4 or a 6. And we got a 5. Okay, so 4 plus 6 is 10. I'm going to add the 1 and the 0 and save $1. Just because the numbers were pretty high. So 9, 10, 15 this week for Junior's Restaurants. Probably the most I've put into this challenge since I started playing it, but that is okay. So Junior's Restaurants is envelope number 3. I'm going to retire the Shut the To-Go Box card. I will put that in with the discards here in the back. I will return this to its envelope. Give me just 1 sec to find it here. Too far. There it is. Okay. So what I have left is I have Junior's Donuts and I have Junior's Diner Menu. So Junior's Donuts is this board game. So I might finish that one next week. And then Junior's Diner Menu is over here, and I've got just a couple selections left on that. In fact, I have only 1 selection left on that. So 1 or 2 more weeks, and we should be all finished. Oops, I need to put these back in here. Okay, so that's all done for now. And now let's go back to the binder and see where we put the clip last week, because I do not remember at all. It is on Dicetropolis 2. So I'll get set up for Dicetropolis 2, and we'll play that here in just a sec. Here's Dicetropolis 2, and Dicetropolis 2, as the name implies, is the sequel to my Dicetropolis set of games. In Dicetropolis 2, instead of playing with D6 dice, you play with D4. You need at least 3 to be able to play the games, and you can purchase them from me or use your own. If you buy them from me, it is a random color selection. There are 10 different colors available, and it's just, whatever I pull out of the bin. So 3 D4 dice. And I am also going to get out a D12 because there are 12 games in the set, and that will tell us what game we're going to play. If you haven't seen Dicetropolis or Dicetropolis 2 before, these are printed on glossy stock paper, so you can use a wet erase or a dry erase marker and continually erase them and use them again and again. Oh, and I need to get out the rag too, because I'm sure I will be erasing. So I'm going to roll the D12 die, and that will tell us which game we're going to play. But, there we go. But if it's a game that we've played recently, then I will just roll again. So let's give it a go and see where we're headed. Number 4. So 4 is Filler Up. So let's give Filler Up a play. You know what? I think we've played this before, but I don't quite remember. So let's give it a play, and then I'll play another game in here. How's that? Okay, so in Filler Up, let me read the rules here. It says this sheet plays as 1 game. Roll 1d4 10 times, marking off each number rolled as you go. If you roll any number more than 5 times, Reset that column and continue rolling until your 10th roll. After your 10th roll, save the value of the highest column. For example, if the 3 column is tallest, save $3. If 2 or more columns are tied, save the higher amount. So in this game, the most you're going to save is $4, the least you're going to save is $1. Okay, so let's get 1d4 out, and let's give it a roll, and let's see how we do. Okay, so we've got 3, 4, 4 again, 3, high numbers, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, and the tiebreaker, 3. Okay, so 3 is the tallest column, 3 is what we're going to save. If you ever lose track of what roll you're on, just count your number of marks. So there's 3, 6, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm going to save $3 for this game. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring up $3, and then I'll roll the d12, and we'll play a different game here in Dicetropolis 2. So we'll do that for now. Set that aside, get the d12 out, and we've got number 9. The 4 is lava. Okay, so let's read the rules for this game. The object is to avoid rolling a 4. Roll 1d4 die. If you roll anything other than a 4, write an S for safe in the circle for that roll. If you roll a 4, you get 1 do-over per game. Re-roll the die. If you roll anything other than a 4, you are safe and may continue. If you make it 4 rolls without rolling a 4 more than once, save $4, $1 for each safe roll. If you roll a 4 a second time, however, you have fallen into the lava. Add $4 to the number of safe rolls and save that amount. All right, so let's give it a try and let's see how we do here. So we've got a 1, so we're safe. And a 2, still safe. Another 2, safe again. Last roll, a 2. So we made it all the way across, so we're going to save $4. Let's do one more game here. A 2, so we're safe. A 1, still safe. And a 4. So we need to re-roll. We get 1 do-over per game. 1, so we made it, safe. And a 4, so we're out. So we need to add $4 to the number of safe rolls, which is 3. So we're going to save $7 for this game. So that was pretty expensive for playing 2 games. So we're going to save $11, plus we've got $3 already. So a total of $14 going into Dicetropolis 2 this week. And I think with taking out the 2025, I've kind of made up for it already. So $11 more. So I'm actually going to take this one back and get another 2. It's a total of 14. And I'll put this into the Dicetropolis 2 envelope, which is number 5. All going in. And then next up is left, center, right. So let me put all of this to the side, and I'll get out that game, and we'll give that a play. Left, center, right is commercially available. It uses custom dice that are included with the game. It also comes with playing chips, but the chips that it includes are blue. And since I have a blue background, I've decided to use my own chips for that game. So I'm going to bring back the big white chips. And the way that I play this game is I have adapted it to be where, I start with a bank of 3 chips. There we go. And this is kind of the backup bank here. So I start with 3 chips, then I roll the dice, and then I allocate these into piles according to what the dice tell me. If they come up with a circle, then I grab another chip. Otherwise, they go into one of the 3 piles, and I keep going until my bank of chips is exhausted, or until this bank of chips is exhausted, whichever comes first. Then I save whatever the biggest pile is. I've had this go in 1 roll, and I've had it where I've used all my chips. So we'll see how we do this week. Okay, so we've got 2 to the left, and 1 more coming into the pot. 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and one more coming into the pot. One more coming into the pot, and two to the left, and we're done. So the left is the winner, and we're going to save $5 for this week. And because, even though that was a quick game, but because we did 2 for Dicetropolis 2, actually we did 3 games in Dicetropolis 2, I'm going to call it there, and we'll move on to the next game, which will be Flip 7. So we'll set those aside and put $5 into envelope number 6. And then we'll move on to Flip 7. Flip 7 is a commercially available game as well, and if you haven't seen me play this before, it uses this special set of cards, special deck of cards, a big thick one, about the size of an Uno deck. And in this deck, there are an equal number of cards as the value of the cards. So for example, there are 7 sevens, there are 11 11s, there are 6 sixes, you get the idea. So the way that I've adapted this to be a savings challenge game is I deal at least 3 cards, unless I get a freeze card, which stops the game in its tracks. And then I determine whether I'm going to take additional cards or not based on the value of those cards. Generally, the high value cards will help your score, but it also makes it more difficult to want to keep dealing, because if you get the same value twice, so if you deal yourself 2 12s or 2 9s or whatever, then you are out and you pay a penalty. The way that I've adapted the game. There is actual rules for playing Flip 7 with other people just as a regular game, but I don't use any of those. Okay, so I'm going to give it a cut, and let's start dealing. Second chance. Ooh, good. That's a get out of... this is the first time I've gotten this card, and it's a get out of jail free card. So I'm going to tuck that right over here. So we got a 10, a 7, and another 10. Now, ordinarily, I would be out and I would have to pay the penalty, but I've got the second chance, so I'm going to take that and burn the 10. So those are done. I'm going to set those down here. I'm going to keep going. Flip 3. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this might have done me dirty. Flip 3, I have to take 3 more cards, no matter what. 1, oh, freeze. Okay. So we got all the special cards this time around. So freeze kind of cancels this out. It stopped, like I say, it stops the game cold. So we're going to stop here. I've got 17, and I don't save $17. I add the 1 and the 7, or I add the 2 digits together, and so I'm going to save $8 into Flip 7 for this week. So that's kind of the most exciting game that we've had in a while. Where I got a second chance, which I've never had before. I think I've had the freeze card maybe once, and Flip 3 maybe once or twice, and I got all 3 of them in one go. So that was a different animal this week. So $8 is going to go into Flip 7. I'm going to stick these in here. We'll set the deck to the side. Go into the Flip 7 envelope and take out 8 buckaroos, as Marlene says. And that will go into Flip 7. Next up is Quicks. So I'm going to get out the dice for Quicks and the scorecard, and we'll play that game here next. All right, here we are with Quicks. And Quicks is another commercially available game, but I've adapted it again to be a savings challenge game. It's a lot like Shut the Box, but with a twist. In Quicks, you use 3 dice instead of 2, and you have to use exactly 2 dice to make a number. So the more common rolls, the 6, 7, 8, and 9, you want to leave those potentially as long as possible, because you might need those to get out of trouble later. If you haven't seen me play it before, it'll make more sense as I play it, so let's give it a roll and see how we do. So I've got a 1, a 4, and a 5, so I've got a 9, I've got 5, and I've got 6. I am going to take the 5 and the 9. I'm going to leave everything else, and I think I'm going to use the narrow end. Let's see if that works. Kind of. Okay, we'll use the chisel end. So the 9 and the 5. Okay, roll them again. 3, 3, and 5. So we've got 6 and we've got 8. So I am going to take 8. I'm going to leave that 6 again. Roll again. 6, 4, and 4. So I've got 8 and 10. I can't take the 8 because I've already taken it, so I'm going to take 10. Roll them again. 2, 2, and 4. So I've got 4 and I've got 6. I'm going to take both of those just because we're getting long in the game now. Roll again. 5, 3, and 4. So I have 7, 8, and 9. I have to take the 7. It's the only move I can make. Need really low numbers or really high numbers. 6, 4, and 2. So I've got 10, 6, and 8. And all of those are taken, so I am out. So I've got 12 plus 11 plus 2 plus 3. So that's 23 plus 5 is 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. And 10 is what I'm going to save for this game. So because that's a high number, that is all that I'm going to save for this week for quicks. Nice and easy. So let me put these dice away. If you buy the game commercially, you will get the score pad, and you also get different colored dice for each row. Plays differently when you play with other people. You pass the white dice, and everybody has their own color, or something like that. I don't know. Like I say, I just adapted it for my own purposes. And fortunately, these scorecards are double-sided, so we'll have a whole different side to play next week, or the next time that Quicks comes up. But for now, I'm going to take $10 out, and the scorecard. And we'll go into envelope number 8 for Quicks. There we go. And now, game number 9 is the new game, Tucano. So I'm going to get those cards out, and I will explain how I'm playing that game. So Tucano is a game that I think was developed in Switzerland. I bought it here in the United States at a game shop in Portland, Oregon, along with several other card games. And really, when I bought it, I kind of had no idea what I was getting into. The back doesn't really tell you a whole lot, but it wasn't terribly expensive, and I thought, I will just give it a go. So when I opened up the box, see, they've got these different shaped cards, and I imagine that is a European thing. When I opened up the box, there are all these different fruits on the back, and they have these different numbers on them. And I read through the rules, and basically what it is when you're playing with other people, you assign points based on which order the card was dealt. So for example, in this card, if it's your first card, you score 1 point. Second card, 2 points. Fifth card, 8 points. Sixth card, 13 points. Not all of the numbers are positive, though. So let's look at a pineapple. If it's your first card, it's a 0. Second card, -2. Third card, -4. This one goes up to 5. So you really have to... this one is a big 20-pointer, this papaya or whatever it is. So you really have to bear in mind what order they're being played when you're playing this as a game with other people as a matter of strategy. I'm not doing any of that. There's also toucan cards in here. There's different kinds of toucan cards. So there's ones that have a gift box on it. There's ones that have a backward pointing arrow on it. And there's ones that have a mask on it. So I've decided that the ones that are a gift is one extra card. The ones that are the backward arrow lose 1 card. And the mask is swap the first and last card. So I am going to shuffle and deal these how I would imagine, or how I've decided to play it, and we'll see what happens. So it's going to take quite a few shuffles just to get these fully mixed up. I didn't do that ahead of time because that would involve planning, and I probably should wash the cards, but I'm afraid they would go on the floor. So I'm just going to shuffle and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. And I'll probably still have them all bunched up, but that's okay for the first time playing it. I think, there's a study somewhere that evaluated how many shuffles it took to get a deck of cards fully shuffled from being in sequential order, and I can't remember how many shuffles it took, but I'm sure it was a lot. Okay, just going to give it a couple more here. Last shuffle, and then I'll cut, and then we'll start dealing, and we'll see what happens. So essentially, I'm going to deal 6 cards unless the toucans pop up, and that will affect how things are played. And then I'll total up the score, and we'll see how we do. So here's 1. Okay. 2. 3. 4. 5. every single one of these has come out upside down, and 6. There we go. Okay, so I have decided that if it falls in a position that isn't on the card, then I am scoring a 0. And if it's one of these, even is on the left, odd is on the right. So this one is an odd number, so this is +1. Card number 2, so that's a 0, so let's turn this over because this isn't scoring anything. Card number 3, odd, so this is scoring 3, so we're at 4 so far. Card number 5, 15, so we're up to 19. 1 plus 3 plus 15, 19. And then these two, 5 and 6, exceed the value. So, oh no, sorry. So this is card number 4. Goodness, I've already screwed up the rules. Okay, 1 plus 3 plus 12, so that is 16. And then these two don't count. So 16, I'm going to add the 1 and the 6, and I'm going to save $7. That seems reasonable to me for this game. So that's one playing, and I will do this every time it comes up, and we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm always experimenting with new games. There's lots of games that I test out, that I play. I'm thinking about maybe sharing those on YouTube, that when I open up a new game and when I kind of go through my thought process of how I'm going to adapt it as a savings challenge game. And I don't know if people would be interested in that or not. If it's something you'd like to see, let me know, and I'll consider doing that. But for now, let's put $7 into Tucano to start it out. Get the binder back out here. And we're on envelope number 9. Okay. Envelope 10 is Dicefecta, and then we've got the 2 scratch-off savings challenges, so I will get those out and get set up for those, and we'll do those here next. All right, here's Dicefecta, and Dicefecta is a new savings challenge game that I have available in my Etsy shop. It is dice-based. When you buy it from me, you get the dashboard, you get an instruction card, and that, oops, that is not the dashboard. The dashboard is in the envelope. This little Hummer goes over here. So you get the dashboard, you get the instruction card, and then you also get 8 game cards, 2 for D6, 2 for D8, 2 for D10, and 2 for D12. The dice are optional. You can use your own, or you can buy them from me. If you get them from me, the colors will match the game. So the D6 is blue, the D8 is purple, the D10 is green, and the D12 is red. So what I do is I'm going to roll the D8, and that's going to tell me which card to play. And we got number 8, so we're playing D12. If D12 seems rich for you, just wait, because there are 3 different ways to score the game: a low budget way, a medium budget way, and a high budget way. So I'm going to play this, and then I will show you how to score all 3 ways. So the object of Dicefecta is to complete one of the sections of 4 numbers, and you do that by rolling the die and then crossing out the numbers as you roll them. You want to use a wet erase or a dry erase marker on these cards. Again, they're glossy coated, they will wipe right off, and you can use them again and again. So let me put all of the others away, so we just focus on the one card here. And I will get out my dice tray so that I can roll without it going all over creation. And let's see how we do. Okay, we've got 7, so we're going to knock out the 7. 12. 4. 12 again, we already got that, so we just re-roll. 6. Right there. 5. Got 2 5s. 4, we already have. 2. That's a 6, we already have that. 4, we already have. 8. Okay, got a couple 8s. 5, we already have. 3. So a 1, a 10, or a 9 will give us the Dicefecta. And we got a 9, so Dicefecta. So this is our completed, this This is our completed card, or our completed section here. So there are four, like I said, there's 3 ways to score this. One way is to add up all the numbers in the completed section and save that. So we've got 10 plus 4 is 14, plus 9 is 23. That's the high budget way. The medium budget way is to save $1 for every number that is marked off on the card. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the low budget way is to save the last number rolled, which is 9. So 9 for low budget, 13 for medium budget, and 23 for high budget. So I am going to save, I think I'm going to save 13. I'm going to go medium budget. And that'll be the only game of Dicefecta that we play this week, because it is going to take up quite a bit of money. So I'll take out the $13. I will wipe all this off, and it's ready to go for next time. And if D12 is too rich for your blood, even with the low budget way, then stick to playing just the D6 or the D8. And play the D12 if you have a special, like a bonus surge, or if you get a windfall or something like that. You can easily do it that way. Okay, so I'm going to put the D12 card back here. Let's save the $13 into the Dicefecta envelope, which is number 9 now. Nope, I lied. It's number 10. So that's going to go in here. Next up, we'll do the 12 Days of Christmas, which is a scratch-off savings challenge. This one, oops, let me put these dice away. This one is one that I have created also. It's on my Etsy shop. And as I've explained before, if you have seen my videos before, there was a year in the 1970s that Christmas Island, which is a territory in the Indian Ocean, issued a set of commemorative postage stamps for the 12 Days of Christmas. So there was one for each of the 12 days. And the way that I am doing this is I am rolling a D12 die, and that will tell me which card to scratch on. Each card has the same number of scratchers as it is the day of Christmas. So the 12th day of Christmas has 12 scratchers. First day of Christmas has 1. I've already scratched the one for the 1 day of Christmas. Someone in last week's video suggested that I stick a challenge completed sticker on it to cover up the amount so there's no spoilers. So that's what I've done. And thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate it. So I am going to get out the D12 that I just put away. I'll get out a different D12. And I'll roll that, and that'll tell us which one we're going to scratch. Here's a D12. Number 5. So we're going to the 5 golden rings. Okay, and there's only 2 left on here, so I'm going to scratch up here in the right-hand corner. That's going to be $7. And we'll get out the vacuum here and clean up. Okay, so 5 and 7, so we're already down to the singles. So I think the next game will be our last for this week. We're not going to get back to Sust, but that's okay. And next week we will start with Dicetropolis, the original Dicetropolis. So let me stick these in here. Yeah, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about $8. So up next is the 12 face cards. This is, yep, I'm going to need the dice again because I still haven't replaced that deck of cards. The 12 face cards is a game that you can use a deck of cards to tell you which one to play, but I have ruined my deck of cards, let's just say. So while I'm waiting to replace that, I'm going to use a D12 dice. D12 die. They are numbered down here in the bottom, 1 through 12. And they follow bridge order. So it starts with spades, then goes to hearts, then diamonds, and finally clubs. Each card has the face card on it and 12 scratchers, and on the back it tells you who that card is supposed to represent. So the Jack of Spades is Ogier the Dane, a son of an 8th century Danish king and a legendary hero who fought against and later alongside Charlemagne, see King of Hearts. So, I don't know that we'll get this one. We're going to roll the D12 die, and that will tell us which one we're going to scratch on this week. Number 2. Okay, so it's going to be the Queen of Spades, Dirty Dora. If you've ever played the game of hearts, then you know her probably as Dirty Dora. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scratchers left, so I'm going to roll a d8, and that will tell us which one we're going to scratch. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go right here. It's a double digit, so it's $11. Okay, so I have only 8 over here, so I'm going to need 3 more. We're going to be putting in $103 into game night this week, which is fine. That just means that $3 will come out of The Life of a Creator, which I play on Wednesdays. Or I shouldn't say I play it, I use it on Wednesdays. So let me stick all of this in here. And this will be condensed later, so it doesn't matter that it's all once. All right, so that is it. Oh, barely closes. That is it for the Savings Challenge games for the week, but stay tuned because I will be back with the condensing. I'm just going to get everything cleaned up, get the cash tray reset to condense the binder, and we'll do that here in just 1 second. Okay, I reset the cash tray to be able to do a condensing, so let's see what we can thin out in this binder. So we're going to start with envelope number 1, which is Loteria. And inside Loteria, we have 100, 200, 20, 5, 27, 29, 30. So we can swap out the 5, 2 2s, and a 1 for a 10, which is not much, but it's something. Not much of a condensing, but it's something. Okay, envelope number 2 is sussed. And inside sussed, we have 50, 60, 5, 67, 69, 70. So we can swap all this business for a 20, 10, 15, 17, 19, and 20. So we still have $70 inside sussed. I think there's a total of 600 questions in this game, so it should be a pretty good saver. Junior's Restaurants has 100, 200, 50, 60, 5, 67. So nothing we can do there. So I am going to just put all those in order. We didn't get to Dicetropolis, but I did put the marker on it, so that's where we'll start next week. Dicetropolis 2 has 10, 20, 22, 24, 26. So I'm just going to put all this back, grab a 20, a 5, and a 1. So that takes care of the 2 10s and the 3 2s. One of these is bent. There we go. Goodness. All right. So $26 inside Dicetropolis 2. Then in left, center, right, we have 100, 50, 70, 5, 77, 78. So nothing we can do there. Flip 7 has 100, 50, 70, 5, 80, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to leave one of these 5s, and I am going to grab a 10. So we'll put back 5, 7, 9, and 10, and grab a 10. So still 185. Into envelope number 7. Envelope 8, which is Quicks, has a scorecard. And 100, 200, 50, 70, 80. So nothing we can do there. Envelope 9, we just started Tucano, so that's fully condensed. Inside Dicefecta, we have 50, 70, 80, 2, 83, so nothing to do there. And all of this prop money represents money that has gone into my IRA, my Roth IRA. So pretty good progress for this year. Inside the 12 Days of Christmas, we have 100, 50, 5, 62. So just swap these two 5s for a 10. And then the most bang for our buck as far as condensing goes is going to come in the last envelope because that's where I stuck all those 1s. So let's take everything out and give it a count and see what we've got. Ooh, it's a thick stack. 100, 50, 70, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I'm going to take out 100. And 9. Even though I'm duplicating what I'm going to put back, this is the cleanest way to do it. So 109, and then all of this goes back. 50, 70, 90, 95, and all the 2 and all the 1s. Okay, great. So still 209. And this is a big savings challenge. All in, it saves over $2,000. So quite a ways to go there. So that is everything condensed. The binder now does close and looks pretty darn good, I do say so myself. So thank you so much for watching, and especially for watching through the condensing and all the way to the end of the video. It means a lot to me when folks do that because it helps out my channel and it means that you enjoy my content. So I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, leave me a comment down below so that I know that you were here, and I'll see you in my next video, which will be on Wednesday for the Savings Challenge books, and then on Friday for the end of the week budget update, and then right back here again next Monday for more Savings Challenge games. So thank you again for watching, and until I do see you in the next one, take care.